Hello beautiful souls, I'm Leo and welcome back to Mystic Twinflame Tarot Psychic. Let me tell you something powerful right now. Life goes on, and that's exactly what has someone in absolute shock about you. Your life went on. What they didn't understand about you is how deeply gifted you are at shifting your perception. When the relationship, the friendship, or the situationship stopped serving you, when this person stopped showing up the way you needed them to, you simply got out of their way. That's it. You moved. And I want you to understand something. This wasn't a rash decision. This wasn't you being impulsive or emotional. This was you honoring the wisdom that lives inside of you. This was you recognizing that what was in front of you was not aligned with where you're going. You didn't need 3 months of therapy sessions to figure it out. You didn't need your friends to validate it. You didn't need to make a pros and cons list. You just knew, and you acted on that knowing. You carry deep spiritual understanding and wisdom. You're able to make sense of things with clarity and grace, and then release them. Because of your ability to understand spiritual lessons and navigate challenges, it's easy for you to say, I understand what this means. I understand what's happening here spiritually. So I'm releasing this. You don't hold on to things the way other people do. You don't sit there analyzing and reanalyzing, trying to give people the benefit of the doubt when your spirit has already shown you the truth. You have a direct line to divine wisdom, and you trust that more than you trust anyone's words. That's a gift that not everyone has. Most people will ignore their intuition for months, even years, because they're afraid of being alone or they're afraid of being wrong. But not you. You'd rather be alone and at peace than coupled up and confused. The Five of Swords shows me exactly what you understood. Betrayal, this person gave you attention one day and the next they disappeared. The calls stopped. The relationship ended. But here's what they didn't understand about you. You're always at peace. You like yourself. You genuinely enjoy your own company. You're not desperate for connection. You're not sitting around waiting for someone to validate your existence. So it was effortless for you to recognize the truth and move forward. You don't go in circles when someone isn't holding up their end. It was simple for you. This person betrayed me. They were wearing a mask. They're not genuine. You saw through the performance. You saw through the facade. And once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. There was no going back. You assessed the situation clearly. They showed up like everything was perfect, like you were building something together, and then they vanished. Maybe they got distant. Maybe they started playing hot and cold. Maybe they started showing you one face in private and another face to the world. Whatever it was, you clocked it. And your response: life goes on. This person is absolutely shocked by how quickly you moved on. It was like at 12 o'clock you realized the truth, and by 12:01 you were already healed and moving forward. You never gave them the drama they expected. You never gave them the satisfaction of seeing you broken down. You simply let go. It was like someone letting go of a jump rope mid-game. The rope just flies into the air and the game is over. That was you. The moment you realized they weren't playing fair, you released them and kept going. Someone is in shock right now. They cannot believe it. They keep waiting for you to reach out. They keep checking their phone. They keep looking at your social media, trying to find signs that you're hurting, that you're struggling, that you miss them, but you're not giving them anything. You're over here living your life glowing, growing, completely unbothered, and that is driving them absolutely insane. But you honor your intuition above all else. You don't care what this person was saying to you or what anyone else was saying. You felt the truth. This person is a liar, and that was the end of it. You stand strong in High Priestess energy. No matter what anyone says, no matter how they try to gaslight you or tell you you're overreacting, you let it go. You didn't engage. And I want to talk about this High Priestess energy for a moment, because it's so important. The High Priestess doesn't argue. She doesn't defend herself. She doesn't try to convince anyone of her truth. She simply knows what she knows and she moves accordingly. She guards her energy. She protects her peace. She understands that not everyone deserves access to her inner world. And that's you. You're not someone who puts all their business out in the street. You're not someone who needs to process everything out loud. You move in silence, you make decisions quietly, and by the time people realize what's happened, you're already 3 steps ahead. That's the power of the High Priestess. She sees everything, but she reveals nothing until it's time. This person was trying to play games with you, but you're too strong for that. You don't fold. And Spirit is showing me that this person is still trying to figure out what games they can play with you because they're stuck in the past. 6 of Cups energy. They're trapped there, replaying everything. They keep rereading the last text messages, replaying the last conversations, trying to figure out, when did I lose her? When did she stop caring? When did she decide I wasn't worth the fight? They're literally torturing themselves. They're going back through every conversation, every moment, trying to pinpoint where things changed. They're asking themselves, what did I say? What did I do? When did she see through me? And the truth is, you saw through them from the beginning. You just gave them the opportunity to prove you wrong. And when they didn't, you moved on. They cannot understand you. Sometimes they're literally awake until sunrise, just thinking, trying to piece together what happened, how it happened, when it happened. They're going over scenarios in their mind. If I had said this instead of that, if I had shown up differently, they're drowning in regret. Meanwhile, you don't even care. Your spiritual awakening happened so long ago. You've been awakened for such a long time. You've been at peace, able to look within and hear that clear voice inside. You're deeply connected to your intuition. You're high in your feminine energy. A night like tonight, a supermoon night, is when you receive clarity. Messages come through, dreams come through, visions come to you. You've been connected for a long time. This isn't new for you. Some people are just now waking up. They're just now starting to question reality, starting to seek spiritual truth. But you've been on this path. You've been doing the inner work. You've been sitting in meditation. You've been journaling. You've been praying. You've been fasting. You've been reading. You've been growing. You're not a beginner on this journey. You're advanced. And that's why when this person tried to come into your life with their low-level energy, you spotted it immediately. This person doesn't realize that you've been chosen. You've been raptured up into new levels of consciousness over and over again. That's what the rapture truly is. It's the moment we ascend in consciousness, and sometimes other people don't come with us. They get left behind. You've been raptured up so many times, and each time certain people and energies have fallen away. It's natural for you now. Every time you level up spiritually, some people can't come with you. It's not that you're trying to leave them behind. It's not that you think you're better than anyone. It's just that your frequency has changed. Your priorities have changed. The things that used to entertain you don't entertain you anymore. The conversations that used to engage you feel empty now. The connections that used to fulfill you feel draining. You've outgrown certain spaces, certain relationships, certain versions of yourself. You're so much older in spirit than you are in years. People look at you and they see your age, but they have no idea how ancient your soul is. You've lived lifetimes. You carry wisdom from ancestors, from past lives, from divine downloads. So when you ascended again and this person got left behind, it meant nothing to you because it's happened before. It's natural. The moment you're raptured up, you're already moved on. Your sensitivity, your sacral chakra energy, it's so heightened. You feel everything. When you ascend into those higher realms, you literally experience the world differently. You smell different scents. You hear music differently. Colors are more vivid. You notice synchronicities everywhere. You have seriously heightened spiritual intuition. You've been in heavenly realms surrounded by angelic energies, celestial beings. Your spirit team is always close. You're very awake, very present in spirit. You're one of those people who can walk into a room and immediately feel the energy. You know when something is off. You know when someone is lying. You know when someone has bad intentions. You don't even have to hear them speak. You just feel it in your body. That's the level of sensitivity you operate on. And once you feel something is wrong, you can't ignore it. You can't talk yourself out of it. Your body won't let you. So how was this person ever going to compete with that? How were they going to lie to someone who can sense lies in their sleep? How were they going to manipulate someone who sees through manipulation like it's written in neon lights? They weren't. They never stood a chance. This person thought they could play games in your face and you'd still be available for it. But you're not that type of person. You also have wise counsel around you. Helpful people, older relatives, older friends. You attract older spirits because your spirit is old. Since you were 4 or 5 years old, you've been sitting under tables while family gathered, absorbing the wisdom of elders. You've always been drawn to people who have lived, who have experienced, who have wisdom to share. You're not interested in surface-level friendships. You're not interested in gossip and drama. You want depth. You want substance. You want real conversation about real things. You read scripture and pull out ancient wisdom. When you hear anything, you hear the old truths beneath it. You see the patterns. You see how history repeats itself. You see how the same lessons show up in different forms. Nobody was going to come into your life and play with you. This person miscalculated. They completely miscalculated. They thought they were dealing with someone who didn't know any better. They thought they were dealing with someone who was naive, someone who was desperate, someone who would accept breadcrumbs. But you're not that person. You never have been. Your communication was always higher than theirs. Spiritually speaking, you're the type of feminine energy that when you were in their presence, you always spoke in a way that made it spiritually clear who you are. The problem is they didn't take you seriously. They kept thinking they'd be able to take advantage, even though you might have told them directly, "When things around me aren't honest, I shut down. I need a pure environment. It's easy for me to detach from darkness." They brushed it off. Yeah, whatever. They heard you, but they didn't listen. These heard. The words coming out of your mouth, but they didn't receive the message. They thought you were just talking. They thought you were being dramatic. They thought you were exaggerating. They didn't realize you were giving them a roadmap. You were literally telling them exactly who you are and how you operate, and they ignored it. Now they're shocked that you did exactly what you said you would do. Now this man is thinking romantically about what it really meant to deal with you. He thought, if I kiss her, if I pursue her, it'll be enough. I'll be able to get her lost in me. This is someone who thought they could seduce your soul. They saw your beautiful, soulful energy, your dedication to spirit, and they believed they could redirect all of that toward themselves. They wanted to benefit from your light, to siphon your energy. Somebody thought they could take your passion for yourself and for spirituality and turn it all toward them. They saw how you light up when you talk about your spiritual journey. They saw how devoted you are to your practices. They saw how much love you have to give. And they thought, if I can get her to focus all of that on me, I'll have everything I need. They wanted to be the center of your world. They wanted to be your God, but you already have a God, and He's the Most High. There's no room for false idols in your temple. But your intuition, love, you heard it loud and clear. He didn't have a chance. From the very beginning, you knew something was off. Maybe you couldn't articulate it at first. Maybe you gave him the benefit of the doubt for a little while. But deep down, you knew. And eventually, what you knew in your spirit started showing up in the physical. The red flags got bigger. The inconsistencies became more obvious. And when that happened, you didn't hesitate. You're too in tune. You've seen too much. You've been through too much to fall for the same tricks twice. You're a very detached feminine energy. And I don't mean detached in a cold way. I mean detached in the sense that you're not attached to outcomes. You're not attached to people who don't choose you. You're not attached to relationships that don't serve you. You love deeply, but you release easily. That's a superpower. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. Hey, Psalm 41. You've only ever put your faith in the Most High. That's why this person could only get so close to you. It was never going to be more than that. There's a wall around your heart that only God can penetrate. You're not letting just anyone in. You're not giving your energy to just anyone. You're protected. You've been in the wilderness. You've been in the forest seasons of your life. You know what's out there. You know the games they play. You know how people pretend to be one thing and turn out to be something else entirely. You know how people love bomb you in the beginning and then switch up once they think they have you. You've seen it all. So you're not some innocent person they could make a fool of. This person had been talking to you, spending time with you, and he thought, I told her she's my twin flame. She should be addicted to me by now. He was using all the spiritual buzzwords. He was talking about divine masculine and divine feminine. He was talking about soul contracts and karmic connections. He was saying all the things he thought you wanted to hear. He was giving you what he thought spiritual people want to hear. You know how it is when karmic energies see a spiritual person, they pull out surface level talk. They start quoting horoscopes, talking about zodiac signs, thinking that's going to impress you. I'm a Pisces, you know, so I'm really deep and emotional. Mercury is in retrograde. That's why I've been distant. They think if they sprinkle a little astrology and a little spiritual language into the conversation, you're going to think they're enlightened. But you can see right through it. He didn't have anything real to say. He had no depth. He had no genuine spiritual practice. He wasn't doing any inner work. He was just using spiritual language as a tool of manipulation. And you saw that. You saw that he was performing spirituality rather than living it. He's heartbroken now because he thought he was putting it down. He really thought he had you figured out. He thought he was doing everything right. He thought the spiritual language and the romantic gestures were enough. But you spoke about real divine connection, real spiritual truth, and he had no depth to match you. When you talked about your relationship with God, he had nothing to say. When you talked about your spiritual experiences, he couldn't relate. He was out of his league, and he didn't even know it. But he still thought he'd be given the opportunity. He still thought you were going to give him a chance to prove himself. He thought time was on his side. He thought he could take things slow, play it cool, and eventually you'd fall for him. What he didn't realize is that you were reading him the entire time. You were watching, you were observing, you were testing. And he failed every test. What he didn't understand is that in your high priestess energy, you're not easy to read. You don't put everything out there for everyone to see. You're mysterious. You're private. You're selective about who you share your inner world with. That's why it's so easy for you to detach. You don't let everyone in anyway. You might talk, you might engage, you might spend time with someone, but that doesn't mean they're really in here. They're not really on your team. They're not really in your inner circle. You have layers. Most people only ever see the surface. They see the smile, the kindness, the grace, but they don't see the warrior underneath. They don't see the priestess. They don't see the queen. Those parts of you are reserved for people who've earned the right to see them. And this person never earned that right. So he's shocked and surprised. He didn't know that he wasn't as close to you as he thought he was. He knows you always have a smile on your face. You're joyful, easy to get along with. So he thought, I must really have her heart. He thought because you were warm to him, because you gave him your time, because you entertained his conversation, that meant you were falling for him. But you were just being polite. You were just being kind. You were just giving him a chance to show you who he really was. And when he showed you, you believed him. But no, nothing in all creation will ever be able to separate us from the love of God. Romans 8:39. This man thought he was going to guide you, advise you, lead you. He thought he was going to be some kind of spiritual teacher in your life. He probably even said something like, "Let me show you the way," or "I can help you grow," or "I can take you to the next level." But who is he to advise you? Who is he to teach you? You've been taught by the Most High. You've been guided by angels. You've been led by the Holy Spirit. You don't need anyone's guidance but God's. You don't need some man who just discovered meditation last week trying to tell you how to live your life. You've been on this path. You've been doing this work. You're not looking for a guru. You're looking for a partner. You're looking for someone who can walk beside you, not someone who thinks they need to walk in front of you. This person may carry heavy fire sign energy, and when that energy is karmic or reversed, these people tend to self-sabotage. They burn themselves out, they fly too close to the sun, they overestimate their importance, they overshoot. All that fire, all that passion is always turned up too high and it burns them out. They make grand plans that falter. They create plans that are too big for their level of execution. They'll tell you they're going to build an empire, but they can't even show up consistently for a week. They'll tell you they're going to change their life, but they won't even change their daily habits. They're all talk and no action, all bark and no bite. They get excited about ideas, but they don't have the discipline to see anything through, and eventually that lack of follow-through becomes a pattern. It becomes who they are. It's difficult for them to be effective. They're too much. They're too intense. They're too all over the place. You have to shut them off. You have to slow them down. You have to see them for who they really are. And once you saw him clearly, there was no going back. Once you saw that the energy didn't match the words, that the actions didn't match the promises, it was over. You don't waste time on potential. You deal with what is. This person is going to have to turn inward and look at themselves after dealing with you. You're going to be a powerful mirror for them. You're going to be the one that got away. You're going to be the standard they measure everyone else against. They're going to have to see that all that aggression, all that arrogance, thinking they could just jump into your life and take over, doesn't work on you. It doesn't work on women who know their worth. It doesn't work on women who are connected to God. It doesn't work on women who have discernment. Be strong and take heart. All you who hope in the Lord, your faith is too strong for someone to just waltz in and disempower you. This person thought they could behead you mentally. They thought they could play mental games with you, break you down, seduce and confuse you. They wanted you to see them as some kind of authority figure. They wanted to hypnotize you. They wanted to get into your head and make you doubt yourself, doubt your intuition, doubt your perception. But they've been used to playing with the wrong kinds of women. They've been dealing with women who are insecure, women who are seeking validation, women who don't know who they are. And when they met you, they thought you were the same. They thought they'd be able to get into your mind, make you dream about them, make you obsessed. This person wanted your mind. They wanted your mental energy. They wanted to consume your thoughts. And that's ironic, because as High Priestess energy, the one thing no one will ever get is your mind. You are the mind. You're the one who controls the narrative. You're the one who decides what you think about, what you focus on, what you give your energy to. You ended up getting his mind. You're the one living rent-free in his head right now. And within the next few weeks, you're going to realize that because he cannot move on. He's stuck. He's obsessed. He's replaying every moment. You're the one that got away and he knows it. You also carry indigo child energy, that sensitivity, that quiet leadership. It's something he wasn't prepared for. And the thing is, you're a soft leader. He might come from a place where women are rough, bossy, pushy, and you're not like that. But you're still a leader. You lead with your presence. You lead with your peace. You lead with your integrity. He'd never experienced that before. He's used to women who have to yell to be heard, who have to demand respect. But you just command it naturally. This man thought that because you're understanding, you'd be a pushover. Because you walk in peace, because you communicate from a calm place, he thought you'd tolerate disrespect. He thought your kindness was weakness. He thought your gentleness meant you were soft. What he doesn't get is that you don't yell and scream because you cut people off. Why would you waste energy arguing? You just click, done. You're not going to holler at you. You're not going to chase you. You're not going to beg you to act right. You'll just remove yourself from the situation and keep it moving. He's not used to that. He's used to drama, yelling, screaming, chasing, playing cheap games. And the truth is, you can find those games at every level. It doesn't matter how educated or successful someone is. We've seen people with access to billions still playing high school games. People who have traveled the world, who have degrees, who have money, who have status, and they're still out here acting like they're in middle school. It's shocking when someone has had every opportunity and they still choose low-level behavior. When someone has had access to culture, to education, to travel, to different perspectives, and they still choose to be manipulative, to be dishonest, to play games, it tells you that the problem isn't lack of knowledge. The problem is character, and character is something that no amount of money or education can buy. All angels shout encore before the glory and visible power of God. Psalm 29. The signs and wonders of the Most High have shown up through you throughout this entire dynamic. And this masculine, in his karmic energy, is going to miss the awe, the greatness, the power, and the glory of the goddess within you. Your ability to remain strong in the power of the Most High, to use your spiritual gifts to protect yourself, to maintain your frequency, to not come down from the heavenly consciousness you've received, just because a low-level frequency entered your life. That's what star energy looks like. That's the hope card. You remained faithful, still, grounded, absolutely committed in your grace and dedication to the Most High. You didn't let this situation shake you. You didn't let it dim your light. You didn't let it make you bitter or angry or closed off. You kept your heart open. You kept your faith strong. You kept your head up. You kept moving forward. That takes strength. That takes maturity. That takes a deep, unshakable connection to God. No wavering. You've been rooted in God. And this man thought he could make you believe he hadn't stabbed you in the back. He betrayed you. He played mental games. He disrespected your spirituality, your trust, everything that makes you who you are. And he thought you wouldn't notice. He thought you wouldn't hold him accountable. He thought he could gaslight you into believing that what you saw didn't happen, that what you felt wasn't real. But you can't gaslight someone who walks in the light. You can't manipulate someone who has a direct connection to the truth. You can't lie to someone who hears God clearly. He underestimated you. He underestimated your discernment. He underestimated your strength. And now he's paying the price for that. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord makes his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Numbers 6:24-25. The Lord smiles upon you. The Lord makes your way straight. The Lord keeps your mind sharp, your words sharp. The Lord ensures that when you speak, dams break open. When you pray, mountains move. When you decide something, it's done. You walk in clarity, peace, strength, and structure. He doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't know what it's like to have that kind of relationship with God. He doesn't know what it's like to be so connected to Source that you can feel when something is off before it even fully manifests. He doesn't know what it's like to have that level of protection, that level of guidance, that level of favor. You're made for a King of Cups, a king who loves with a noble heart, someone who will adore you, see the beauty in you, think you're the most precious thing, someone who will match your depth, your spirituality, your emotional intelligence, someone who will honor you, protect you, cherish you. You don't have to deal with anyone playing games because you're clairvoyant. He wanted to disprove your clairvoyance. He wanted to act like he had you figured out with surface-level spiritual talk. But you see through all of that. You see beyond the physical, you see into the spiritual realm. You see people's intentions before they even act on them. You see the end from the beginning. That's the gift and the curse of being clairvoyant. You know things before they happen. You feel things before they manifest. And sometimes that means you have to walk away from things that other people think are perfectly fine because you can see where it's headed. You understand that it is safe for you to be powerful. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's validation. You don't need anyone to co-sign your gifts. You know who you are. You know what you carry. You know what you're capable of. You've always walked with an abundance mindset. And that's why you're sitting in a place of abundance right now. Whatever's happening in your life, you have peace, you have passion, you're seen, you're paid attention to, you're valued, you have Empress energy. Whatever you plant right now is going to grow. Start a new business, nurture new ideas, build new connections, work on that creative project you've been thinking about. Whatever you do, it's going to flourish. Because you have the energy of creation around you. All you have to do is plant the seed, write it down, speak it into existence, take the first step, and it will come to you. The Empress is the ultimate creator.
She's fertile ground.
Everything she touches grows. And right now, that's you. You're in a season of manifestation. You're in a season of growth. You're in a season of abundance. Don't let what happened with this person make you think otherwise. Don't let their lack of vision make you doubt your own. You're on the right path. You're exactly where you need to be. If this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to like and subscribe. Share this reading with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a message from Mystic Twinflame Tarot Psychic. Thank you so much for being here, for trusting me with your time, for allowing me to hold space for your journey. I see you, I honor you. And I'm so proud of you for choosing yourself, for honoring your intuition, for walking away from what doesn't serve you. That takes courage, that takes strength, and you have both in abundance. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep shining, keep trusting yourself, and keep walking in your power. You're exactly where you need to be.